breaking fucking records radio.
With with talking on the actually with your early inspiration to hip hop and stuff though, I'm curious, what was your first piece of machine you ever started producing with, both of you guys?
I had a Akai 900 sampler, really simple. Really simple, and I connected it then to an Atari computer, you know, to sequence it. Because I kind of liked the buttons, but I was already like, I felt I was very limited, like with the SP or whatever, or with the MPC. Like I tried it out and I kind of liked it. I loved the sound. But I already felt like you have only like those whatever 10 or 12 seconds to sample, and I liked it always like long loops, you know.
Your music, and all the strings,
the melodies and stuff. I always liked it like long loops, and that's I felt like I cannot really live out what I'm really doing. So for me, the Akai 900 and an Atari computer with like to sequence and actually like being able to do samples over like 15 whatever 20 seconds, I felt like I can do me better basically, you know, and do what I love. So
it suits your style.
Exactly. So that's what I basically started off with though. And then the funny story is like me and Dad, we basically starting off doing mixtapes before we even start really producing, you know. I think as a DJ, you
what about your mixtape series? Like, when did you start doing that?
Yeah, like I started mixtapes like very early already because, you know, once you're a DJ, you go into the mixtape thing. I had basically let's say it was more like a fun mixtape or a demo mixtape. I didn't even really consider like selling mixtapes or something, right? So I copied 20 mixtapes. That was the first time, like, you know, I did mixtapes, but I gave it to my friends. It was unique mixtapes. I did like some mixes, and then I gave it to a friend, and he had that only copy, basically, right?
And people just like play at parties.
Yeah, and you know, exactly. But then there was a famous jam in Germany. It's called MC Fresh. That's like one of the 90s famous biggest hip hop jams there. Like they started like 90 or 91. And there was, I guess, 95. It must be 95. I went there for the second time, and I figured I'm gonna bring some. I'm gonna bring some of my mixtapes to hand it out, basically, right, to get the name around. And I had like 20 copies, and I was sitting there in the middle of the whole scenery, and I start like putting it on a tape, like I had the boombox, like playing it, and then people was coming over, and I think within like 20 minutes I was sold out. I just sold all the mixtapes, and I didn't understand. I was like, I didn't even considering like really making money off it. I was just like, I want to kind of give, you know, like whatever. But I sold it.
What age were you when you were doing that? If like roughly, like you were like in your teens when you were doing that, like.
Sorry again?
Were you in your teens when you were doing that?
Oh yeah, I mean I was pretty young, definitely. You know, like right probably before like 18, 19, something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was surprised, and I was like, oh man, like this is crazy. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna do a serious mixtape where I actually put in some work, and like with the artwork. This mixtape didn't even have the artwork. It just was the, you know, when the empty tapes come with the white cover, sleeve, whatever, and I just tagged it up, you know, put my name down and shit, and so yeah, and then I figured I have to do a serious mixtape, and then it went pretty well from there. So, you know, from a DJ you go into the mixtapes, and then once you playing with the mixtapes, and also as a DJ you're probably gonna go into producing, because you're already all into like beats, drum patterns, you know, when you start like juggling music and mixing more and going into techniques and stuff.
You already started to make your own music to a certain extent.
You know, so like it's a small step to going from a DJ like to producing and stuff.